Namaste. My name is K.S. Bhavsar, working as assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry, Art, Science and Commerce College, Chopra. Three major classes of macronutrients are essential to living organism. First one is carbohydrate, second one is fats, third one is protein. In this lesson, we will discuss the carbohydrate. Chemically, carbohydrates are organic molecules in which carbon, hydrogen and oxygen bond together in the ratio CxH2O_Y, where X and Y are the whole numbers that differ depending on the specific carbohydrate to which are referring. So this is a one molecule example given is here, that is the glucose, having the molecular formula C6H12O6. Three important elements: carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Carbohydrates are made up of units of sugar, also called saccharides. Carbohydrates that contain only one sugar unit, monosaccharides, or two sugar units, they are also called as disaccharides. Both are referred as a simple sugar. Simple sugar are sweet in taste and easily broken down in the body to release energy. Two of the most common monosaccharides are glucose and fructose. Glucose is the primary form of sugar stored in the human body for energy. Fructose is the main sugar found in the most fruits. All carbohydrates can be classified as either monosaccharides, oligosaccharides or polysaccharides. In this lesson, we will learn about detail in monosaccharides. So monosaccharides are the simplest carbohydrates. They are also called as a simple or single sugar. These are the building blocks from which all bigger carbohydrates are made. Monosaccharide having the general formula CH2O n times, where n can be any number 3, 5, 6. They can be classified according to the number of carbon atoms in a molecule. When n is equal to 3, they are simply called as a triose, for example glyceraldehyde. When n is equal to 5, it is simply called as a pentose, for example ribose, deoxyribose sugar, which is found in nucleic acids. When n is equal to 6, they are called as hexose sugar, most common glucose, fructose and galactose. Monosaccharides include glucose, fructose, galactose, deoxyribose and ribose. Monosaccharides are a single unit of sugar and are the smallest carbohydrate. Glucose is a 6-carbon sugar, the sugar in our blood. Fructose, the sugar that sweetens fruit. And galactose, the sugar found in milk, have the same chemical formula as glucose. Now first we see in detail glucose. So glucose having the molecular formula C6H12 and O6. So there are 6 carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the various form of glucose. This is the open chain form and this is a cyclic form. This open chain can be converted into this cyclic form, which is also known as a glucose-Haber's projection formula structure, by this intramolecular rearrangement. So pentose and hexose can exist in two forms, cyclic and non-cyclic. In the non-cyclic form, their structural formula show they contain either an aldehyde group, okay, particularly in glucose we found this aldehyde group, or a ketone group. The most common hexose, that is a Greek glucose, is also known as a dextrose and blood sugar. Is found in fruits, vegetables, corn syrups and honey. Glucose is the building block of disaccharides like sucrose, lactose, maltose, and polysaccharides like glycogens, cellulose, and starch. In the body, the excess glucose is converted to the glycogen and then stored in the muscles and in the form of liver. Second important monosaccharide, that is the fructose, again having the same formula C6H12O6, 6 carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second position there is a carbonyl group. Okay, number of hydroxy group are there. Okay, so simply polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketones are simply called as the carbohydrate. Okay, fructose is the ketohexose. There is a ketone group at this position. Therefore, fructose is referred as a ketohexose with the formula C6H12O6. Okay, which is the same as the glucose, but both have the different structure. The structure of fructose differ from glucose at carbon 1 and carbon 2. Fructose is the sweetest naturally occurring sugar. Fructose is also found in the fruits, root vegetables, just as sweet potato, onion, and honey. Fructose can be converted into its isomers, glucose, after it enters in the blood stream. So these are the three various forms of fructose. This is the open chain. This is the cyclic. This cyclic form can be drawn into this form, which is known as a chair form. Okay. So the next concept, that is isomers. We know that the glucose and fructose having the same molecular formula C6H12O6. Another monosaccharide having the same molecular formula C6H12O6, that is galactose. So glucose, fructose, and galactose have the same chemical formula as glucose and is therefore isomers of glucose. So if the compound possesses the same molecular formula but different structural formula, then they are simply called as the isomer, or they are called as structural isomers. Okay, they are called as structural isomers. Isomers have the same composition but have a different arrangement of their atoms or groups. So there is a change in the position of OH group is different. There is aldehyde groups, here keto group, but all the three molecules, glucose, galactose, and fructose, having the same molecular formula. That's why they are called as the isomers of glucose. Monosaccharides containing aldehyde groups are simply called as aldose. So this is the structure of glucose containing aldehyde group at position number 1. Therefore, glucose is simply called as aldose. While those with the ketone groups are classified as a ketose. So this is the fructose, second position keto group. So fructose can be classified as a ketose. The structure of fructose differ from the glucose at carbon 1 and 2 by the location of the carbonyl group. So carbonyl group position number 1, carbonyl group position number 2. Aldoses are reducing sugar while ketoses are non-reducing sugar. This is important in understanding the reactions of sugar with Bendix reagents. So in this unit or lesson, we see what are carbohydrates and the first type of carbohydrates, which is called as a monosaccharides. Thank you for watching this video.